Hi, everybody, and greetings on this Wednesday. It's already Wednesday. That is so scary. The second day of December. Thank you so much for spending a little time with us this evening. We're still looking for and welcoming high pressure building in for the weekend. It's going to give us some nice parade and Christmas weather for the holiday events here in Sagersville and elsewhere that's going on. Cool and dry, and actually not so cool for a couple of days in your forecast. It's been tweaked since I saw you last. I'll pass that along to you in just a few moments, courtesy of our friends at Licking Valley RECC. And we will talk with Sagersville Mayor Pete Sheppard. A whole lot of things, not just for the norm, so to speak, as far as the Christmas parade is concerned. I've got some times to pass along, a lot of excitement about what looks to be a record-setting parade, and a whole lot of information to pass along to you there, and that will surely put everyone, I think, maybe not the report so much, maybe a little, but definitely this Saturday's events put you in the Christmas spirit. It's that time of year where we'll start keeping tabs on area high school basketball teams, a couple of games under a couple of belts for some respective area teams. We'll kind of get you caught up on some early schedules there. Just a brief update on one of the major football games for Eastern Kentucky this week, and some other news and information. Bear with me this week. I am juggling Nutcracker and basketball every night, and some other things. It's amongst, of course, keeping the show going on. So if I'm a little scattered-brained more than normal, please bear with me. And with that said, our first report actually takes us to downtown Sagersville, where the Sagersville Fire and Police Department, a few members thereof, were busy decorating their float, a first ever for the departments, an entry into the parade. And it's going to be the first for a lot of folks who are going to have parade float entries for this weekend's Sagersville Hometown Christmas Parade. Of course, it all begins with a whole lot of fun in the downtown area. I suspect a lot of caroling, a lot of cocoa, the hot variety, of course, and just a lot of wonderful fellowship and time well spent ushering in the holidays. It all starts this coming Saturday evening, just a few days from now, and Mayor Pete Sheppard says that they're looking very forward to what looks to be the biggest parade to date. It's an annual event that's been around a few years now and has been ever popular, and a perfect opening, if you will, to the holiday season. Technically, probably starting with the shopping season a little bit before, but officially kicking off the holidays in Sagersville and Magauffa County is the Sagersville Hometown Christmas Celebration, the tree lighting, and the parade, and Santa, and a whole lot of fun all mixed in. And it's this Saturday, and Mayor Pete Sheppard says he's excited about the interest that they've seen this year.
The parade's going to be Saturday at 6 o'clock. Santa Claus is going to be in town at 4. Kids can come down to the cabins and have their pictures taken with Santa Claus. They're going to have drinks and stuff there, but the big event's going to be our parade. We've got to have our tree lighting again at 5:30, and then after the parade, here at the fire department, we're going to be giving away toys to all the kids between the ages of born to 8 years old.
Tell me a little about the parade. I know we're excited to have a pretty big turnout, maybe?
I think it's going to be the best, greatest, biggest ever. We've got a whole lot of people going to participate in it again this year. We had a big one last year, but I think it's even going to be bigger this year. Our fire department's even putting a float in, and we've had some new people that's coming. We had Carpenter's Local, I think, out of Ashland's coming up, and they've already got their float here. So we're going to have a lot of participation this year.
And for some more good news, a beautiful weather weekend lies ahead. And the mayor had a few tips for getting in and getting there on time and getting a good place to watch it all.
The parade's going to start at 6, but we're going to start closing the streets down at 5. We want everybody to be here early. And then after the parade's over with, we're not going to open traffic back up till we get the parade and all the floats back through town and back past the IGA up into the Continental lot and the funeral homes where they start. So people come early and be prepared to stay a little later because we want to get everybody in and out safely. And then all the kids can start lining up at the fire department right after the parade.
And Sheppard wants everyone watching to keep some folks in your mind as you're having a wonderful time enjoying some great hometown holiday spirit this weekend. And that's the Sagersville Hometown Christmas Committee and some others who have helped put it all together.
It's basically our Christmas committee made up. Melissa Patrick is the one that heads that up, along with Michelle Conley, Abby Conley, Jessica Howard, Jeff Arnett, and some more people. I'll forget somebody, but that's basically the core. And they put it on. We've raised money this year through our Run Rudolph, over $1,800 this year through donations and that run. So we don't have to bug the businesses for a lot of money this year. We're paying for our toys out of that money and going to have money left over that we buy extra lights for the city with. So it's been a great group effort, and the Renaissance helps, and just everybody in town, the fire department, police department, everybody, our street department puts the lights up. So it's a group effort, and we're just going to have a great time this year.
Of course, there's some other Christmas-related events coming up throughout the next several days. You'll find those on our community calendar. Remember, if your church, organization, club, what have you, has an announcement for the holidays or any time, you use our community calendar. It's been keeping folks up to date for 17 years and counting now, free of charge, and all you have to do is get your announcement to us. We'll tell everyone about it. I'll have those announcements and other headlines in just a moment. A few local reports in the works. We may have those before we leave you. If not, we'll start to focus on those on tomorrow's program. Since I do have just a minute to pass it along, while it's not local news, it's news that's making its way across the nation, and it does involve a Kentuckian who is said to be in the running, at least in the People's Poll, for Time's Person of the Year award. And just as there was a great deal of controversy, of course, over the Rowan County Clerk's refusal to issue marriage licenses to gay couples after the Supreme Court's legalization of same-sex marriage, I'm sure there'll be opinions on both sides of the fence of her making at least the People's Poll for the Time magazine's choice of Person of the Year. About 60 people right now on that list, and I'm just now realizing my efforts to put this graph on the program were not quite successful. That is entirely too small of a print for hardly anyone to read, including myself. My apologies. Time says that voting on the Reader's Choice poll will end on Friday the 4th. My apologies, at midnight. The winner of the poll will be announced on December the 7th, next Monday. Time's editors will ultimately choose the Person of the Year, the person they believe most influenced the news this year, and that's for better or worse. But they say that doesn't mean the readers shouldn't have their say, so you can vote for the People's Poll. I know the numbers didn't come out very big. Just to kind of give you a glimpse, Bernie Sanders is in first place with a little more than 10%. Pope Francis has 3.8%. Obama has 3.5%. Stephen Colbert has 3.1%. Trump has 2%. And if you get further on down the line to the short list of those on the latter part of the list, closer to the 60 spot, Kim Kardashian West has 0.7%. Ted Cruz has 0.5%, as does Jeb Bush, who has 0.5%. And Kim Davis has 0.4% of the people's vote for the award. Once again, Time will make the announcement next Monday. Local news and information in a moment. Right now, local announcements, beginning with a birthday, I believe, all brought to you by McGoffin Farm Bureau and your local agent, Doug Green. And I have to admit, I got a habit of not reading things before they air. I put a whole lot of trust in myself and my reporting and that of those here in the studio, so wish I'd have read this one all the way through. It's actually happy birthday to twins. I only have half of them on the screen. Nevertheless, a very happy birthday to Michael Cole and his twin sister, Michelle Cole Arnett. My apologies, Michelle. Nevertheless, with a whole lot of love from Mom, a whole lot of family, and a whole lot of friends. It's a happy birthday wish to twins Michael and Michelle Cole Arnett. Happy birthday, guys. A reminder about this Friday's holiday wreath workshop at the McGoffin County Extension Service. It's just $10. Stop in anytime between 11 and 5. Bring the kids. They'll have a ball. And for the $10, they'll give you the greenery and everything you need to make your wreath, and then take it home with you. Stop by and see the folks at Sayersville Trinity Full Gospel Church this Friday at 7. They're doing some Christmas skits. They're going to have these plays set to music celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ, as well as his life, death, burial, and resurrection this Friday starting at 7 o'clock. The McGoffin County chapter of the Eastern Star is now meeting the first Friday of each month. That will be the case this Friday for their meeting. It will be this Friday at 7 p.m. And I believe the Eastern Star meets in the Masonic Lodge Hall there behind the McGoffin County Courthouse, if I'm not mistaken. East Kentucky Missions is giving away Christmas gifts, guys, this Saturday, 10 till noon, 2 hours at the Mount Sinai Church of God across from the Sayersville Speedway. Bring your child, come and get some gifts, and help celebrate Christmas with East Kentucky Missions. If you have any questions, you can call 349-2835. If you have any questions for me on why I might have messed something up on an announcement you sent in, it does happen. Please feel free to call me. And if you have an announcement, of course, phone, fax, email, Facebook, or drop them off here at the newsroom or email them. Any way you get them to us, we'll tell everyone about them. Birthdays and anniversaries, too. That's it for local announcements for this Wednesday. A few words from a few of our sponsors, and we'll talk some sports after this. Safe to say a hyperactive sports season right now, seeing that we've got basketball and football overlapping. A whole lot of Eastern Kentucky teams in the state championship round of their respective class this week. Just a couple of things I wanted to mention about those tonight. We'll talk about Central in a couple of days. Their contest is not for a few days away. Belfry, of course, has made it to the state championship. No surprise there. They are taking on Lexington Catholic. Now, that game is set for this Friday. Kickoff set for 4 o'clock, and that is, of course, in Class 3A. Belfry and Lexington Cath. That will undoubtedly be a major, major playoff there. We're also talking about, of course, Pikeville and Beechwood. It's not a new matchup at all. That kickoff is set for earlier in the week. That is tomorrow, 8 o'clock their time, 7 o'clock our time, I guess it would be. The actual last ranking that I saw had, I think that was from the AP, had Beechwood at number 2 and Pikeville at number 4. As far as past appearances in the championship round, Beechwood's been there 14 times. Pikeville's been there 5. Beechwood has an 11-3 record in the state championship. Pikeville has a 3-2 record. Beechwood was last there in 2008. They took down Hazard 14-7. That was their 11th championship in Class 3A, and all of their victories have been in Class 3A. Pikeville and the Panthers haven't been there since the early 90s and 91, and they lost to Beechwood 34-6. So it's going to be interesting to see if that's going to be a little bit more inspiration for them this time around. Not as though they need any. Of course, Pikeville led by Derek Pugh with 1,826 rushing yards, 33 touchdowns, 2 receiving TDs as well, and Wyatt Battle of 1,162 passing yards, 17 touchdowns. He's rushed for nearly 400 yards. Beechwood leaders, though, have been posting some major numbers, and they have all season long. Kyle Feiger, nearly 2,600 passing yards and 38 touchdowns. They've got some other kids, it's hard to call them kids, young men. Ethan Stringer for more than 1,550 yards rushing and 21 TDs. Brett Slusher over 1,100 rushing yards and 19 TDs. 8 rushing with another 8 rushing TDs with another 410 yards on that side of the ball, man. I tell you what, it's going to be a good one. And, of course, we'll talk about Central as they get a little closer to that game in a few days from now. We wanted to pass that along. We also like to pass along it's time to start watching the clock, so to speak, on high school basketball, which is officially underway for some but not all of our viewing area teams. Starting off with Central, they've started off the win with a loss by 4 against Greenup County. That was a 70-74 loss. And this game, of course, November the 30th was their first game. That was a home game as well. That was their home and season opener, and they're back at home this next time, set for tomorrow night. Tip-off set for 7:30. They're hosting Jackson tomorrow night in Game 2 of a very early season that will wrap up mid-February if all goes as planned for most everyone. The Lady Eagles of Central, they're just getting ready. They'll take to the hardwood for the first time of the regular season schedule, the official schedule, this Friday. They're hosting East Ridge this Friday night. Johnson Central Golden Eagles getting ready to take on District 57th District action. The Hornets of Montgomery County had their season opener last night. They did so on the road at Knott County Central. This was an overtime loss for the Hornets. They came up short in OT by 6. Well, just getting started, so we'll have to wait and see. We are going to see the boys come home for their home opener this Saturday night against East Ridge. Now, as far as I know, that game is set to take place at 7:30. I'll keep you posted on any times that may change in lieu of the parade and the Christmas festivities. There's no time actually listed on the schedule, but their first home game set for this Saturday against East Ridge. While the boys are 0-1, the girls are 0-0. Their first contest for tomorrow night. They're starting off their season on the road. They'll do so against Estill County. Tip-off set for 7:30. Their first home game and their next game, they'll have more than a week off. December the 11th. That's 1 week from this Friday. So a big gap there in Game 1 and Game 2 for the Lady Hornets and Coach Scott Castle. The Cougars are winless and lossless so far. They, too, have yet to start their season, but they'll do so tonight. Tip-off set for soon, 7:30 at home for the Cougars and Coach Perry, and that is against Bath County. As for the Lady Cougars, they've got one under their belt. It was a loss, 47-56, the final score against Russell. That was a home game for the Lady Cougars on the 30th and last day of November, this past Monday night. Now they're back in action tomorrow night. They're on the road at Fairview, tip-off set for 7:30. They'll next be home not until December the 18th. A lot of road games and a lot of miles to travel between now and their first home game of the season. The Tigers of Paintsville getting the latest start of the regular season schedule. They haven't opened yet. They won't do so until their first game on the 14th. Yeah, that's right. 1 week from this coming Monday, they'll be hosting Allen Central. They've got 3 games, including Magawa County, their second game on the 15th, but 3 home games in a row to start off the season, but once again, not until the 14th. The Lady Tigers and Coach Baldwin, which I just lost, I'll see if we can get that back, have seen more play right now than anyone. They've got 2 games down, and that was their first on Monday against Betsy Lane. It was a win. Sorry for the glitch there. There we are. It was a win over Betsy Lane, 63-44. Their second game hosting Pikeville on last night. It was a loss, 48-58, the final score, so they're dead even 1-1. They're also hosting Prestonsburg next time around. That game set for Saturday night. And as I'm about to make my way out the door, we have to talk about your Licking Valley RECC forecast. West winds tonight, 6 to 8 miles per hour, 47 degrees and falling. If you're catching the early show, we should bottom out right around 32. We'll also see with a mild disturbance a chance of some flurries and or sprinkles, probably in the reverse order during the overnight. No major precipitation, just a little mix possible out there tonight, and certainly no accumulation. And high pressure is going to keep us cool and clear and dry for several days. Starting off with a cool one tomorrow, 44 is where we should top out. 26 for tonight, tomorrow night's low, mind you, not tonight, but tomorrow night. Mostly sunny skies, clear start to finish on your Thursday. Ditto for Friday, except with some warmer daytime highs. 52, still can't shake the low 20s, but sunny, clear, nice. Now, what I'm also glad to tell you is Saturday's forecast, and with all the Christmas and other festivities, the Christmas parade and everything in Sagersville and elsewhere, check it out. 57 and sunny, a low of 25. It will be chilly that night, but that really helps put you in the mood, doesn't it? And makes that hot chocolate taste even better. Clear start to finish, just a nice Saturday in store, and we're still looking at a nice Sunday as well. We do have 60 degrees, sunshine above, much more favorable nighttime lows in the mid-30s. Partly cloudy skies late. We are calling for a bit of light precip late Sunday night, technically Monday morning, and into your Monday. But we'll talk more about that next time. For myself, it's Andrew's Ballgame and the Nutcracker yet again. 2 more nights, counting tonight's to go. Saw a lot of familiar faces over there last night. I expect I will again. I so hope that I can expect to see you back here tomorrow night. More news, I promise, that you'll only see with me. Be sure and join us then for any late breaking and other news here on Your News Today. Have a wonderful Wednesday evening, and see you then.